Right guys, so I said back in the same clothes doing the second video. This is purely because I need to do some maintenance before I go away. So this is going to be like another maintenance video. But before I start, I would like to apologise that I didn't get any real footage at the Western Invert show. I didn't get to play my game where I asked random questions, so I'm hoping that's going to be a show in the future. Apart from that, it wasn't in and out and look for spiders, but it's one of those days. So I think because I wasn't buying spiders and it was a little bit more hectic than I was used to there, that it didn't quite go as well as I'd liked it to. So I didn't really get time. I still got to bump into some other YouTubers who you may have seen me with Gav on JP's video, bumped into a few, too many to name. Gar Reese is going to have a video coming up very soon that you're going to want to tune into. Trust me, it's going to be worth watching. But firstly, I'd like to take a minute to thank somebody who went out of the way and didn't have to do anything. As you may have seen, I think it's 2 videos ago now, that my H poker piece died, which I was absolutely gutted about. Now, Gav picked me up on the morning of the Western Invert show with Beth from Arachnobeth. I will put her link in the description down below, and I can't thank her enough, purely because this, I don't know if you can see it up the top there, just been eating a worm, so you might see the worm more than the spider. But that is another H poker piece given to me by Arachnobeth. So Beth, thank you very much. I will get you something back in the future though, don't you worry about that. So yeah, that's as much as I can do for an intro, and this is a little bit longer than normal, mainly because of that and that quick explanation of why I didn't get the videos I wanted to at the Western Invert show. I waffled on too long, let's just get on to rehousing. Alright guys, so the intro says this is going to be another like maintenance type video before. This is all leading up to when I go on holiday. I'm going like tomorrow. Gonna quick look around the Balfour Communal. Couple back there, my Action and my Nandu Chromatus I think is at the back. Chromasola Brachypelma apopolossum, Hobbyform, Red Runners, which I will be using one of them to go into there with Mr. Blondie, who seems very, very hungry at the moment. So let's get into this video and do some maintenance. Right, so we're going to start with this one, guys. This is the Grandmastola Poultry piece. As a bit in the last video, I'm going to be doing a bit of topping up the water dishes, maybe a little bit of feed. Luckily enough, some of these teas don't need that much when it comes to maintenance. Just a bit of water on this one, and then I will chuck in a little mealworm. As I said, a lot of this maintenance is due to the fact that I'm going on holiday, so I'm going to be away for, I'll actually be away from the spiders for about 10 days. I've got my room set up on a timer on 2 different like traps as well, in case it trips out. Should be no problem. The other one should kick in and keep the room warm enough for them. And as I said, I'm going away. I have been feeding them up this week just to make sure of that. There's Mr. Poultry in. Now, down by its feet, down around here, John's just disappeared. I've had people saying to me, oh, you've got mites. Now, just to assure people these are not mites, these are springtails which do a lot of the cleaning for me. They go in, they eat what's the remainder that's left of the bug when the tea's finished with it, and they also clean up any feces from the spider, so they're great to have. Oh, you can see one just walking just here, another one over here and here. But yeah, they are in there on purpose. They're not mites, they're actually springtails. Alright, so that's the Pultra done. Absolutely love this tea. I can't wait for it to get bigger and get like a dark velvety black. It's going to be amazing. Let's get on to the next one. So next up is my Brachypalma apoplossum. Right, as you can see by this app, it's got a giant water dish, but that's purely because it was sold to me as yeah, I can't remember his name now. H. gigas, which it clearly isn't. It's clearly a curly hair. This has been pointed out in previous videos when I've called it the old name. Right, as you can see, just realised I wasn't actually focusing on it at all. Is the fact that they look like two spiders. Now I know there's not two spiders because there's only ever been one in here and they look identical. So this little beast, see if I can do like freaking out. Has molted. So we'll take this mold out. Unfortunately, I still believe it's too small to find out the sex of it. But as you can see, this right here, not what was sold. It's not gigas. So I've kind of left where I had made a half a swimming pool type thing for the gigas, which it's not, as just a giant water dish. And to be fair, this one's kind of thrived ever since. So I'm reluctant to change it until it gets a bit bigger. I think we should go on to Barfora Camino next because the bigger one is out of them all. So let's get on to that one. Nope. Don't really need to do anything there. Now I've tucked them all out. As I said, the water dish is like 3/4 full anyway. And the dish is like half the size of the enclosure. So as I said, we'll get on to this one now. Bit of a bigger enclosure. I've got to be careful with this because these like to hang around at the top. I'll see if I can find some for you. Oh, you can see the one just inside the burrow. That's the biggest one. Don't know if you can see too many scratches on the top. I would have just seen there. Probably not. See if we can get a quick look from above. You can just see his legs. There's one in there. And there's 6, I think, in here. That's if they're all still alive. Don't know if you can see just in. Oh, just freaking out a little bit. Just down here, there's a hole. I know that one pretty much lives in there, and I haven't seen it. I've seen it maybe once since. So there's 1. 2's normally here on the front of the glass, but he's gone for a wander. I'm just looking to see if I can see any others. There's a couple out round the back. It seems to be, since they molted, they all seem to want to just do a bit of climbing. Oh, so there's 1, there's 2, there's another one down there. I don't think they're used to hiding in trees quite often. I know for a fact there's at least 1 molt in here that I've not been able to get to without freaking them out too much. And as I said before in the last video, springtails, meant to be in there, not mites. If they were mites, you would not see them on this camera. Just trying to think. I don't think we're going to get to see any more. I can't see, I can still see, I don't know if you can see it at the back. Probably not from the angle you're at. I don't know if you can quite see in this water dish. The problem is I don't want to destroy the web. But the water dish, and due to the stupidness of certain animals that go in there. Whoa. And at the I'm trying to get a picture from the top. Yeah, worms. I put worms in here and they keep going because it's due to the one that was at the front. Who's definitely not in there now. Is I dropped some at the front to make sure that they all get fed, and unfortunately they always end up in there. So today I am going to have to actually get rid of this web, which is unfortunate, and get rid of the water dish as well. First thing I would do is take these worms out because they're no good to anybody. So if the water dish spills, it's not a problem. I'll take that out, place it there, lid back on, and we'll be back in 2 seconds. Right guys, so this guy's, as you can read from the front, my Nandu chromatus, Brazilian red and white, or Brazilian white stripe, or Brazilian white striped bird eater, or whatever the hell people want to call it. It's just around here, so we see if we can get a view from the top. There's a view from the top. I believe this one, I'm not sure if it's in pre-moult or not. I will drop a worm in, just because if it is, the worm can't really harm it unless it turned into a beetle, which if it's not eaten it by the end of today, I will remove it. But firstly, let's try to get everything out of your water dish. I wouldn't suggest doing that. Big needy drink. Right, anyway, water dish is now clean. My mouth isn't. It's got some nice substrate in it. Yummy. And we'll drop a little worm in. See if little George, as you were seeing on the front of the tank, that's what this one is called. The reason it's called George is because it's referred to, as I said, to Brazilian red and white St. George's cross. Kind of really random names for my teas, but they are all named. Unfortunately, George, I'm going to have to take the top off, buddy. Which one is that? I'll get a better shot of George now. There we go. This is probably, I've seen how big these get, so I say this is probably grown on sling, maybe. Let's fill this water dish up and let it go in peace. Right, just left the worm, so we'll keep an eye on that. I'll be back, and that's purely, I'm going to say that because it's not the biggest spider, but it did have a red runner a couple of days ago, and looking at it, but it probably could do without food for the time I'm away. So that's the Nandu away. And next one up, the Grammostola actaeon. Now I can't remember if this one was in the last video, but as you can see, this tea is an absolute nightmare. Every single time I come to see this tea, water dish like that. It's absolutely mental. So, started a little bit, sorry dude. This one is possibly the first male I've had in my collection. Now I've malted or sexed various malts, probably 5 to 6 in my collection so far. Now, apart from the Balfouri males, which I got off Sidex, this might be my first actual male. I've been very lucky when it comes to them. Let's see if we can get it to eat. Right, but that's not really worked. I'm not sure that one was big enough, so let's get a second one in there. Drop it a little bit closer. Not really working. Let's see if. So I know what this one's like, so I'm going to clip the lid down because there has been times where it's decided that I was going to go crazy tongs. Right, clean that out for you. I have named all of my spiders, so you will see on certain ones that have been staying in enclosures for a little bit. This one will be getting rehoused pretty soon though. And this is Emerson. Anyone who knows anything about football knows there was a Brazilian, played in red, and he was called Emerson. I was going to name it after the greatest Brazilian to play for Middlesbrough, Juninho, but I didn't quite think it fit it. And because of the fluffiness, I'll put a picture up of Emerson, the footballer, and you kind of see where I'm going with it. I'm going to clean the water dish and I'll be back. Alright guys, and we're back. This one molted not, probably about a week ago, which I thought would be enough for it to take food. It hasn't, so a bit like the Nandu. I'm going to come back and check on it. If it hasn't, I don't really want worms turning into beetles when I'm on holiday in these enclosures, so I will be sensible and take the worms out, but it may purely be just the fact that they're being camera shy today. Just let this one overflow a little bit. Obviously didn't like it touching his web, but that's what I'm thinking is possibly hungry and just being camera shy. The fact the water touched the web, it turned round. So we'll leave Emerson in peace. And we'll go on to the last of the maintenance before a quick feed. And the last of the maintenance is this little guy. Grandma stole a poker piece, chocolate golden knee from, got it BTS from So Many Legs. This one is quite skittish, so I'll make sure that the lid's near while I'm taking the water dish out. Right. Quick clean. There we have a quick clean. Now this is one that I'm hoping, I had one of these before and unfortunately did pass away. But luckily this came in my, I believe it was my box of mug of tea I got from So Many Legs. Go and check out Andy Worms and the guys at So Many Legs. They do some cracking things, and they are one of my favourite vendors purely because that's where I got my sand spider from when I was desperate for one. Somehow already got dirt in the water though dish, even though I've literally just cleaned it out. Oh, I think I might have accidentally just blew in on the spider. Let's see if we can get a look. Can't believe that's gone in there already. Right, let's drop in a worm and see if someone fancies some food. Oh, it's looking like it is. This one has been named as well. I haven't put the name tag on the enclosure yet because I'd imagine 1, maybe 2 more molts maximum, and it'll be changed. But this one, due to the name, the golden knee, this one's called Midas. Right, now let's get on to the last bit of this video, because I think the last one was 23 minutes, and from looking at the stats on YouTube, most people turned off by the point it got to about 10 minutes, so I don't want this overrunning too much. Let's go on to the last one, which, as I promised, is the one you can't see because the camera's too low. The Beast. So it's a T-Blondie. I'm not sure if this one's been named. I'm always happy to look for other names if people come up with anything. It may have been named Hulk originally, but I don't know, I'm sure we can change that. Right, so let's get him distracted. Take the water dish out first, see if you'll probably be out like a light. Nope. Makes a change, normally flies when anything touches the substrate. Let's get one of these little runners. The red one should be coming into the picture. Oh no, it's decided to fall over a little bit. Oh, there it goes, and there it's gone. Seriously, this spider, I think I could feed it every single day and it would take food. It's absolutely nuts. That red runner's probably the size of its body, and it's like no problem at all taking it down. It's absolutely crazy. Do love this spider. Wish I had it sooner. And I cannot wait for it to get to full size. If you've caught the end of my last video, you'll see about my Lacedoria parahabana. I was saying that it was about 7 to 7.5 inches when it first molted, or when it last molted, sorry. I'll put a couple of pictures up while this one's eating. I'm just cleaning the last parts out. A couple of photos of it stretched out. It's molted about 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, so it's just starting to harden up slightly. Not enough to be fed. I won't feed it now until I get back. And as I said, it's a beast, so it will be absolutely fine. Let's fill this water dish up. Right, so the pictures will be coming up now. I'm going to fill the water dish up with this one, but this is the first picture, which is just it stretching out. And I'm not joking, it's like the width of my hand spread from tip of my pinky finger to the tip of my thumb with my hand spread out. It seems to put on quite a bit of size on this molt for some reason. I'll put a second picture up now. This is my adult Brachypelma hamori in a tank above it. Now this is spread out widthways. It's not long ways, it's spread out widthways, and you can see the size difference just between those two species, and it's absolutely mental. The Mexican red knee, or the hamori, is about 5 to 5.5 inches. As a female, is like quite a decent sized T, but the LP, the salmon pink birdie, that's just ridiculous size now. And the thing is, looking at it, I'm sure it's not finished growing. I tried to have a quick measure up against the glass and got to about 7 3/4 inches, but it wasn't completely stretched. So you're probably looking at it being 8, 8.5, around there somewhere. So I think one more molt maybe, and it'll be an adult. I can't see it getting up to. There are rumours they can grow up to 10 inches. I can't see that. Most research I've done said between 8.5 to 9, roughly. You get the odd freak one that goes to 9.5, but I'm thinking I might also talk to Sam at Buground, so I know he's got a male. It's not quite ready yet, but that may be a pairing that I could look at in the future. I'm also looking to pair my female GBB, which I thought was a sub-adult until I found out their actual size. Let's put the lid on this one out. until I found out their actual size, and then realised that mine looks like it is an adult and it's ready to go. So I'm on the lookout for a GBB because I think that would be a great breeding project. The only problem is anyone who knows the GBBs know that they're notorious for the female eating the male. So a lot of people probably won't want to lend me them. So I might end up having to track one down. Right guys, anyway, that's enough of me waffling on in the background with nothing happening. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon. Bye for now.